It's just a spark, but it's enough to keep me going. And when it's dark out, no one's around.
Welcome back. This is the cast of Suicide Notes. We are missing one, but that's totally fine. He's here to headshot. This is the cast. They are gonna give They're gonna give commentary to you guys about what they thought about the show. I'm gonna throw it over to you guys. Cool.
Awesome.
So, alrighty. Go ahead and start with what were your first thoughts when you first read it? Let's start there and keep going. Alright.
Right. Well, sad topic to work with, you know.
Yeah, really interesting, deep choice for a first play of a new
Powerful
Playhouse.
Yeah.
topic that's
Powerful.
definitely got a lot
Do you
of...
have a profanity filter? Okay.
No.
I feel like it covered heavy subjects that really do go on in high schools, and I feel that these are subjects that people don't really talk about. Nobody ever wants to talk about depression and stuff that drives them to suicide. And people don't realize their influences either. So I felt like this play was really deep and dark, and more things like this need to happen so that way we can raise awareness and people aren't afraid to talk about it.
I agree with that. As somebody who has been sort of on both sides of the coin, like
Yeah.
somebody who's been really depressed and somebody who's been a bully,
Mhm.
like I definitely I could take it from both sides, but I think it's important that we normalize the conversation, that it's okay to talk about how you feel and all this stuff, so that this sort of stuff can be prevented.
Exactly, because mental health has such a stigma to it,
Mm-hmm.
even in 2016, and it's sad. And I feel like even the characters in our play could have been prevented if they had somebody to talk to.
Right? Yeah, Tyler agrees.
Or Cameron. Cameron just
Thank you, Tyler.
Yeah.
Alright, so now the harder subject.
should hang out.
What were stuff that you guys didn't understand in the show that needs a little bit of help understanding?
Understanding as in subject matter?
One of
Even like a transition, like why this scene went to here, like why does that not make sense? This helps the playwright understand what other people see.
My main qualm with the overall arc of the story was I'm not sure, after all the action, we've been following these characters for 6+ years.
Yeah.
I don't, even at the end, I don't really know I'm confused on the moral, what I'm supposed to get out of it as an audience member and as an actor. Because of perhaps the presentation of the thematic material. It seems to be, especially with the end sort of group monologue with everybody saying the things in unison, that the point of the story is to be there for your friends, and if they're feeling down and low and depressed, and let them know that they're worthy, and to be good friends for them, which Ember does throughout the entire play. But it seems to me that, at least initially, several other of Cameron's friends are there for him since the beginning, and I don't know, and that seems counterintuitive to the theme. If the theme is be there for your friends and let them know that you're on their side, why does it take 6 years to play out?
Well, I think it's just because it's such a hard subject, and also, people react differently when approached with different situations. So Ember's character, she's very supportive of Cameron, and she just wants to be a part of his life because she cares about him. Whereas, yes, Dalton is Cameron's best friend, but he just can't handle it because of all the stuff he just dragged him through. He's like, no, I'm done. So people have different tolerance levels, I guess, to that.
I think you could even base it on the nature of their friendship,
Yeah.
because Cameron and Ember have a romantic relationship even from a young age, so their connection is I don't want to say deeper because there's nothing tighter than a boy and his bro.
But I feel like Dalton at the same time also sees a different side of it than the rest of his friends.
Yeah.
His dad's the cop
Yeah.
investigating it.
And I think it'll be better portrayed on an actual stage when the blocking's
Yeah.
rehearsed and their lines are memorized, and that way everything flows together, because I know because for me, as an actress, even as a person, I'm very physical.
Dang it, Tasha's in my lead.
We weren't doing it again. No,
like she's an alien.
I'm alien.
I'm a method actor, okay? I just Cameron all the time.
Anyway. All the time now.
Eh.
Take a month to get out of it.
Anyway, as it's just with that, it's like if you're preventing someone to walk away, you grab their arm. Like here, it's hard to do because we have our scripts in one hand and we're not really sure what direction we're exiting, and it's kind of just like
Like a half stage.
yeah, exactly. It's like it's not.
It was like pseudo stage, I think.
Yeah, it's not like out there yet.
Yeah.
So I feel with like a lot of rehearsal and a lot of blocking is very important in this show.
True.
You don't need a huge set, but blocking is very important because that sets the rhythm, and therefore by having that rhythm, the message is clearer, the transitions are clearer, and especially that message at the end. That message at the end is the key point. That's the whole moral of the story. Like, you can save a life from actually trying to save a life, if that makes sense.
My thing with the moral of the story is that while yes, it's suicide is bad, talk to your friends, that stuff that we talk about at the end, I also feel like there should be like a little like side note, P.S. by the way, be aware of the way that you treat people and the things that it will lead them to do. Because I feel like that's really touched upon in the first act where everyone's talking to Cameron and they're like, it's your fault, you did this. But then it's never again kind of talked about that it was the way that he acted and the things that he said. And while he may have been trying to do things out of jest, they weren't taken that way. So it's one of those like, well, yes, of course, support your friends, be there for your friends, but also be aware of the way that you treat other people and the things that it will cause them to do, the chain reactions.
Amen.
I think that's a really good way to put it. Like, if the first act was all about, it was more about the friends and less about Cameron, and it was how they were supporting him through their friendship, and the second act mirrored that by being, this is how Cameron's a shit stain to people.
Yes, I like
you
that.
would get the balance between the two.
Yeah, that's really good.
Another thing, a lot of people say throughout the play, Cole says it, Ember says it, like, I can't believe Cameron would do this. He's such a good person, and
But there's nothing
you've seen, we as the audience throughout the entire production have no real evidence of him being a good person.
We're just being
We
told
don't-
that.
It would
We're
be
being
cool.
told that.
That's
Not
true,
shown that.
yeah.
I
More
think
backstory
it's
to it.
almost, but it's sort of like hinted at in the flashbacks. We
Yes.
just don't get, like, we don't get a big enough bite, because they're like, you were so good to me, but these were all the bad things.
Yeah.
It's like you gave me something to talk about, or something to talk about, but then you went around and told everybody that we talked about.
I think what might have helped the flashbacks is if they had, like, a specific example of, like, this is the time that you pulled me up, and you showed me exactly how good of a person I could be, so you could be like, oh, Cameron cares.
That would be good.
I think
That makes a difference.
specificity is
Yes, specificity.
And I
underrated.
feel like touches of his humanity are also shown when he loses his memory and he's reconnecting with Dalton and Ember.
I think that was just good acting.
but he's like,
Oh, so
well,
you are really serious.
yeah, but back there, you know.
I mean,
No, he's like, we snuck away and we had our first kiss. Like, that's a really sweet, genuine kind of moment.
Yeah.
And then he's so excited to see Dalton. Oh my gosh, my best friend! And Dalton's like, no.
What the fuck are you saying?
What did you do?
Like,
Please, just because you can't remember.
Back up.
Girl, you don't know.
Alright, so
We have a question.
what is
Oh, we do?
stuff in the show? I'll look at it a second. What are the stuff in the show that what does it say? I can't see.
Something about
I can't read that far.
Enjoying the group's chemistry.
Hi.
Yes, be aware of how you treat people.
Yes.
Perfect. Thumbs up. This is Facebook.
So, love it. Love it. Wow.
chemistry real quick.
No, angry.
When we were talking about blocking and lighting and how that will all work so much better on a stage, I also feel like the rehearsing of the lines would work better because while we're all talking to each other, we only had a couple of rehearsals, we're reading off of a page at the same time, and we don't have the kind of chemistry, and while we're acting, we don't have that real kind of emotion you get after 900 rehearsals.
Yeah,
True.
And there's sort of, I think,
And I feel like that hits hard with shows like this.
there's like
You got a bond.
like a weird chemistry we have because we all know of each other in ways.
Yeah.
Because like groups of us work together, but the Venn diagram does not overlap.
I don't work.
Yeah.
And there's
completely
just like,
anywhere.
yeah, there's like,
Like,
us,
we
and then
work
some,
in
and then some.
Outside.
and then
This
like,
is not a Disney affiliate.
So,
Yeah, we're not affiliated with
the one who is commenting, who said that she is actually Kristen Black. She is
Hi,
going
Kristen.
to be.
Hi, Kristen.
Kristen.
She's going
What up,
to.
Kristen?
That's Kristen.
the
She's an
playwright.
alcoholic.
Hi,
No.
Kristen.
Hello, Kristen.
She's the playwright of the next Speakeasy show called Shattered, so I hope that you guys tune into that as well and see the dynamics between different shows as well.
Yeah.
Nonetheless,
That'll be a good one.
so what are parts of this show that got you thinking? Like, what are something that hit you like, oh, well, that just happened, whether it be good or bad?
I didn't know Cameron and Ember kissed. I didn't even know that was a part of it until he's like, remember when? And I'm like, oh,
Yes, I do.
yeah,
You were so bad. Like I just blocked it from my mind.
like what?
Not
sixth
you.
grade or
That's
some
I was
bullshit?
being you.
It is freshman year.
So I was so bad.
Oh, you
were
bad.
great.
Oh,
I
gotcha,
remember.
Gotcha.
I just was so embarrassed.
Gotcha. Okay.
It was so bad he had to get
ECT.
The real reason he lost his
The
memory.
real reason why
Wow.
everyone went crazy.
Wow, guys, did you know me in high school?
I just like to follow you
I knew
around.
of you, not so much
Yeah.
you.
Gotcha. I have a reputation.
This is how this works, right?
What was the question again?
So what
Things that surprised you.
things that surprised you in the show?
Okay.
What was like, oh, well, that happened?
Officer Rivers.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead and explain what I did.
There was a typo.
There's a typo in the script the first 6 times we read it. That was Officer Rivers' first name was also Officer, so he was Officer Rivers. And I just thought it made it more
You were
efficient.
like born ready for your.
Yeah.
Okay.
You were so officer.
His parents were like, "This is your calling in life."
You will be an
Child tested
officer.
for law enforcement.
Leonard jumped off the bridge.
On the subject of surprises and Officer Rivers, it was like a
Segways are cool.
empty surprise. I don't know if it was surprised, but a little disappointed that
There's another comment.
he didn't come back in the second act at all, or the whole like
Oh,
police
yeah, you were gone.
investigation
Yeah.
subplot.
Well, I mean, it immediately
just
skipped
faded
to
away.
graduation in college.
It was
Yeah, I
There is that
clear,
time
like,
constraint.
was he
Yeah,
ever
did-
officially charged
Exactly.
with anything?
That's
Did
a
it
good
come
point.
to a conclusion?
Yeah.
Was he arrested? Did they go to court?
Let's ask the
Did he have
playwright.
probation?
Did the family press charges? Because I think that's technically like the third class of manslaughter or
Something like that.
Honestly, I left that
Assisted
open-ended, and I know eventually I need to come to a close on what happens with that. I just
Okay.
really
Everyone
haven't
needs
checked, so I don't know how I feel about it.
Yeah.
Again, I'm going to interrupt this feed. My last comment here is Nolan. He is the other artistic director of Speakeasy's Playhouse. He's also going to be the director of my William Shatner Man Crush.
Yeah.
When you guys are
nice.
interested, that one will actually be staged. It won't be Speakeasy's live. It will be staged.
Are you gonna build a stage in your living room?
I hope my grandma saw that.
That'd be great in this
It's
case.
on
I actually think
An
this will be a
actual
great.
Paint all the walls black.
It'd be a black
We can
box.
pull it off.
Yeah.
It would be a black box.
Yeah.
Literally.
Did you notice that the acoustics, like right there, are much better than anywhere else in the room?
Accurate.
Yeah.
What?
My
Alright.
too loud.
No.
Another question, and we can end on this note if we want. Describe surprises in relationship to each other's characters. Like something you're like, oh, that's different. Well, obviously we got the, oh, they kissed, but what else was a surprise to between relationships?
It took like 3 readings to figure out that Cameron and Cole were the same age.
Also brothers. Yeah.
Are they twins?
They
I
have.
think we determined that.
They
Originally,
weren't,
well,
but
we
graduated
it
the
kind
same
of
year.
Yeah, because they graduated at the same time.
Well, I mean, that could have happened if one was born in January, one was born in December. They would still be in the same grade.
Dude, that girl would have got pregnant
The
so
gradu-
bad.
It happens.
It happened to
Graduation
me.
was
So
so
bad.
bad.
Talking about our mother.
That is so bad for your uterus.
I
Talk
want to
about
know.
Real talk.
I want to know what's Dalton and Ember's relationship because I feel like they're the most distant in the group. I want to know.
Oh,
Okay.
I feel like their relationship is Dalton Cole
It's a
hating.
delay.
I think Dalton. That's
So if I say fuck, is it
Dalton hating is a typical
Son?
girl.
I
Okay,
care.
the girl.
Alright, back on
Feel
subject.
right.
3,
Yeah.
2, 1. Surprises. So we can end this.
She was
string.
saying Dalton doesn't like Ember because the best friend feels threatened by the girl factor. So
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Maddie.
That doesn't make sense. That doesn't
Hi,
make sense.
Maddie.
Yeah, and it would be nice to know how the friends are related to the suicide victims.
Yeah.
Exactly what I was gonna say,
Besides they died. Oh no.
I mean, I figured they're
Yeah.
just different class members.
And I wonder if like the suicide people knew each other. And I'm
looks like
also
they did.
curious as to
It
how
seems
close
like they were all part of the
suicide
same
Yeah, I think
friend
they're all
group.
part of the same like class.
And, and what then
The whole
prevented
timeline.
this half from like following suit?
I don't have a surprise in character, but my favorite scene was the scene between Edward and Cameron. In the dreamy bit. I thought that was
That's a good one.
That was
The
a good
dreamy
one.
bit.
I thought it was really good. That was my favorite part of all of it.
I think it would have been cooler to, or cooler. It would have been cool to see
Ice cold?
the development
cold.
between the Cameron and the suicide kids.
Yeah.
Because that would definitely fill in like a lot of holes. Because we come into this play going talking about like how we killed ourselves, but
over him.
But we don't ever explain how we know him.
Yeah, I think as for the ghosts are dead people, clarifications between them and Cameron, them and the rest of the friend group, them and each other, and the actual like timeline of when them and Cameron started like being friends, if this was a middle school thing, or how long the timeline was between that and them killing each other, and how or killing themselves, and then how soon in between each other they committed suicide.
Okay.
Because I feel like for it to be like a big group thing, like, oh my god, all three of these kids committed suicide, it would have had to be pretty like boom, boom, boom.
And did they plan it?
Yes. Were we doing?
They did
we planned it.
They planned
They
it.
were all theater kids together.
Dude,
I feel like they would have called more than one police officer to the school.
Okay, well, if you've seen
It's a
Stranger
really small
Things, there's
town,
only
okay?
one police officer in that town.
Guys, we're on a budget.
We can only afford one officer.
That's why they had to get rid of He's officer.
That's why he's officer.
It's a small town. We have a small budget.
And I would also like to see, like I said earlier, like the relationships with Cameron and the dead people, to see the dynamics of the relationships. Why he doesn't talk his friends into killing themselves too. Like why he's tormented towards certain individuals.
That's a good point.
And he protects other individuals.
Yeah, why he likes you three and he hates us.
And because
he hates us at the end.
Cameron seems really vicious
You could have come and been
to his friends
us.
throughout
I know, you
the
enjoyed
whole
us.
production, but it would be interesting to see him joking around with the victims, see him doing his jokey stuff and obviously hurting their feelings, but like not realizing it, because it's not meant written, I don't believe, for Cameron obviously to be a bad person, but he kind of is.
Without being able to see anything else.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I feel like when he's in his dreamy bits and the three ghosts, the dreamy bits, the ghosts are like telling him what had happened and they're like conversing. You don't really get an idea of how, because Cameron used to call Gloria a fat whore all the time, and you don't get to hear the tone things were said, the context things were said. It's a lot of he said, she said.
A lot of exposition of things, like telling things that happened rather than showing them.
Yeah, and maybe
that's a big thing in improv. That's like show don't tell. So
also true.
There's a lot of that.
A lot of exposition
I think
passages.
maybe like a scene or couple or whatever of Cameron talking shit about everybody to other people.
Just Disco, she's such a whore, man. She sleeps with fucking everybody, and this weirdo right over here.
Like, if he's airing laundry, I want to see some laundry.
And so it's apparently he's told all of these people, he told the whole school that she's crazy and I'm a whore, and Edward, I don't know what was wrong with Edward.
He's an emo kid.
Edward's
he's
an
a
emo
cutter.
kid.
Yeah.
But, so, if the whole school knows that you've been talking shit on us, why don't your friends know that you've been talking shit on us?
Maybe the show should.
Maybe they also talk shit and they're like, because they're fucking a clique, you know, and they're
you guys,
they're like, they're just being funny.
Well,
y'all are just mean girls.
Wait, so it's all of your fault, but everyone just blamed you.
Yeah, because like you know, the ringleader always is like, you know,
Regina George.
Yeah.
See, my suggestion would be to start with the suicide notes and then flash back before the suicides happen. So you see Cameron's interaction, just even for a short while, just to like see how he does react with them, and then maybe you see Edward, Lenna, and Gloria talking, and then all of a sudden they wake up 2 weeks later and Officer Rivers is in Officer Rivers is in the principal's office, and you're like, what the hell happened? We just saw these characters. But we already had the setup it starts the same way. Just add a little scene that backs it up before the suicides happen.
On a similar note to bullying, watching this video right now, I understand why everybody thinks I'm gay.
Are you asking yourself, what is this life?
What is
this life?
Terrible line that needs to be worked on. Okay, guys. So, wrapping it up.
And, like, what kind of wrapping paper do you have?
Right.
And a bow? Can we put a bow in?
Does it have glitter?
Do you guys have any final thoughts that you need to share? Within, like,
Don't bully people. Like, seriously.
You know who you are?
I bully people.
Don't.
Actually, they do. Who know they are? They're watching this.
Right? You. Right there.
Don't be afraid to be yourself because some kid with good hair and glasses in high school makes fun of you because they're just insecure about themselves.
Yeah, he's very
Sterrett.
I also called you Lenny and said you did something else too.
Yeah, you got called
Pisses and shit.
You pisses and shit.
That's okay.
And also,
transition.
Also, like, if you have issues, talk about it to somebody. Like, even if you don't think that person is listening to you, people still pick up on things.
And if you don't want to talk to someone, there's plenty of hotlines, text message hotlines. If you don't want to talk on the phone,
Vent on Tumblr.
They are free. Like,
Yeah.
You're definitely not in this by
We're
yourself.
all in this together, and it shows.
Alright, so on that note, thank you guys for joining. This is Suicide Notes. This is our first live stream. Join us next month for Kristen Black Shattered. Say bye, Cass.
Bye, Cass. Okay.